everyone.
Happy Wednesday. Here we are again.
It is. It is. Hey, Karen. I'm glad you're here and everybody else who's here.
Yeah, I hope everyone's having a really wonderful creative week. I've been trying to downsize in my studio, so I've been going through things. And I was talking to Anne the other day, and I said, "Oh my gosh, it's taking so long to go through everything, but it's like sorting it into piles." And so I haven't been crafting, I've just been sorting into piles. So I've been in my creative space, but not creatively.
Well, and it takes longer to sort
Hmm.
and to sort and put away than it does to just put stuff away.
Yes, absolutely. And I know
Yeah.
you've been in your creative space. We were talking about that you were working on a project where you got this huge inspiration of creativity, and
I
it
did.
was so cool to hear that. And
I'm so
I know
excited.
you're saving it for a
I'm
special
saving it.
event.
Yep. Something just occurred to me and I tried it and it worked. And I'm saving it for BellaCon, but it is so cool.
So, for those who are joining us tonight or watching the replay, tell us what Bellicon is.
So perfect because I just have been mailing out to um, sponsors this week. And BellaCon, this will be the 6th annual. It used to be live in person at Mall of America. And then, things happened. And when I was bringing it back live, so many people asked if I could do it virtual too. And I thought, no. I mean, no, I don't want to do both. So instead, I did it virtual, but all of the instructors, or the majority of them, are all together. So we're together in one place. So you kind of get the feel of being in person because the instructors interact. But this year, I've had to change it every year, timing wise, since it's been virtual, because we go to trade shows and they keep changing the trade shows.
Right.
So we are now
The
going to be
dates
in
of the
March.
trade shows.
Yes, we're going to be in March and it's 4 days. Last year, I think we had like 20 instructors. And then sponsors also taught half-hour workshops, and everything's recorded, so you get to watch it whenever you want. Hey, Beatrice, Zakaya. I think I said that right this time. So yeah, it's a great event, and I will send information out to everybody as soon as I nail down instructors, and one of them just popped in to the room.
Yeah. I'm not seeing if her camera's come up yet or if she's set, but let me ask you a few more questions about Bellicon, because as Anne mentioned, she brings these instructors together. So they're all together in one location. And it's really cool because everybody supports each other. And when one person is demonstrating, everyone's kind of hanging around or watching on the live TV. And it's a really cool interaction. I have not been able to experience it live together, um, but I've watched, I watched, so I know.
You have, and Julie just popped in, Eileen just popped in, and both of them, well, Julie is the hostess with the mostest because it is at her house.
Right.
And Amanda is here. She's going to present something before Deb does her project. And yeah, it's I don't know that anybody else does it this way. And it's great because, like you said, the instructors all support each other, and it's fun to have that interaction. And it's not just virtual where you're in a room alone.
Yeah, there's so much community that happens when you pull everybody together like that. And
Yeah.
it just creates so much amazing synergy because there's questions that come up, and then somebody can jump in and answer questions and pivot a little bit if they need to in their demo to make sure it's very, very clear. So for those who are watching who are not on your list to get an update, how will they sign up to know about this next BellaCon event?
Well, all they have to do is go to our website and they can sign up for the magazine, and then they'll be on the mailing list, and I will send information out as soon as I have it available. It will go out first to everybody who has previously been part of the event. They'll get a little heads up, but yes. Eileen said, it's such a great event, so many talented instructors. I've always learned a lot. And that's true, because even as an instructor, you're learning from everybody else. And that's what's amazing.
Right. So cool. So cool.
Lenine,
So,
BellaCon is awesome. Thank you, Lenine.
Yes. And as Anne just mentioned, our special guest tonight is Deb Floros. But before we invite her on, I do see that Amanda's in the green room.
Yes. I'm going to bring Amanda in here. Hey,
Hello.
Amanda.
Hi. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. I think when you were talking about BellaCon, you forgot to mention how much harassing we do of each other, too.
I knew you were here, so you could talk all about that.
It is fun. It's really neat because unlike other virtual events, like you said, the people at home are watching and they're crafting along and you're commenting, but the instructor who's live teaching, sometimes it's hard to catch all the comments, but having all of the other instructors in that same room gathered around the bar at Julie's house, some of us are crafting along, some of us are reading, some of us are just harassing the instructor, but it's fun because there are all these little jokes that come up, and then we're always reading the comments. So no questions get missed, all the little jokes get, read out loud, everybody laughs. And so it just feels like you're there no matter what, Yep. So I think that's fun.
It's true. I mean, it is an amazing experience. We love it.
Plus, Julie puts out the good toilet paper for us.
And Julie just said, kitchen bar, please.
Yes. Not the regular bar. That's later.
Lenine said, I love the camaraderie of the instructors.
Yeah, it's fun.
And
it's always a different group, too.
Right, because I do invite different instructors.
Yeah.
I have to say, Amanda will always be there.
Oh.
And Eileen has done every single one of my events. She will always be there. Last year, she couldn't be there in person, so she did it virtual. But this year, we planned around her schedule.
Nice. Yep.
So,
and a bunny pillow.
Reminded Amanda of the bunny pillow. She puts out the good toilet paper and the bunny pillow for Amanda.
Yep.
Amanda has bunnies.
Yep. It's fun. You guys should all join us. It's going to be a blast. You will not regret it. And it's not just one type of craft. It's all kinds of different crafts. I'm primarily a card maker, but I love to do all the things. In fact, what I'll share tonight there's no cards involved, although there's some card making supplies, so they can over. But at BellaCon, it's all different crafts, so it's really cool.
Yes. Beatrice said, I love to see the fun and inspiring energy. They make you feel like you're there too.
Yeah.
Which is what we try to do. Yeah. It's just, Kelly said, when is sign up going to be? I may have missed it. I haven't put it out yet, Kelly. I just reached out to sponsors, but we're going to do an early bird special in November. So people can sign up early, and I can get the swag done early before I leave for Texas.
Yeah, so, swag is awesome. Everybody loves the swag. It's fun.
They do. Lenine said, I love the classes by Amanda and Eileen. Been fortunate enough to take live classes from both of them.
Yeah, it's great to meet Lenine in person. We had a great time.
And Julie said it makes a great Christmas gift. Well, that's a good idea.
That's true. Just tell Santa what you want.
I think Beatrice did that last year.
Nice. Smart.
Mm-hmm.
So we're
you
going
have
to turn
something to
over
share.
the full screen to you, Amanda. And just a reminder, once the full screen's up, can you introduce yourself?
Oh, sure.
And then I'll pull your section out and put it on YouTube, and so that everyone knows who you are when you're ready to start.
All right. I'll just go to my down camera now and then I'm ready. All right. So like I said, tonight's not a card at all. I wanted to make a purse out of one of these big candy pumpkins, but I didn't want it to look like a candy pumpkin necessarily. I'm elevating it a little bit. And I went onto Amazon, and that's where I got my pumpkin, because if I go into Walmart, somebody always hits my car. So you can go there and get one for cheaper. I would also just go to Amazon and save myself a trip. And while I was on Amazon, I found a really cool purse strap. And this one is like cream colored. So my pumpkin started out white, but this was cream and black. So I needed to up my pumpkin game a little bit. So I grabbed, well, first thing, before you do anything to these pumpkins, if you want to like elevate them, you need to do the prep work, which means the seam that's there, you're going to want to sand away. I used some rough sandpaper. I even used my little die snips to get down into the bottom, you know, some of these little ridges that are a little bit bigger, and they just kind of make it better. And then that black strap that was here originally, my die snips cut it off really easy. So I used a heavy grit just to start and kind of take down the sheen a little bit. And then I came back in with one of these nail files. I use these for my paper crafting all the time. For your die cuts, it gets rid of the hairs. And then I just kind of buffed it out a little bit and just made it smoother to the touch there. So definitely spend the time on the prep work if you're going to do this. And then to get the color to be right, I grabbed alcohol inks. So your alcohol inks and your blending solution, it is alcohol based. So if you put it on, you're putting it on a non-porous surface. You can take it off with alcohol. So don't be afraid to mix and match and see about getting the right shade there. And I just did kind of a scrubby motion to get into the recesses here, and then kind of smoothed it out afterwards. And I played with it until my husband said, wow, it smells really boozy in here. And it's just get the shade that I wanted. And I'm not worried about it being totally perfect. I wanted it to be sort of antique-y and like kind of match my strap, that off-white color there. And so I think I got in a nice shade here. We're looking pretty good. Now, the eyes and the mouth here, those were, at best, it was printed poorly. So I just grabbed an angled brush and some paint here, and then I kind of filled it all in and made it one smooth coat. That also gives me a nice rougher surface so that now I can come back in and glue on some little black pearls, and a pickup stick will work really nicely for this. But I'm going to fill in that space. I thought about using like shiny rhinestones, but I wanted to keep it in the same mood as my purse strap. I don't want the purse strap to be too like Adidas and then a blinged out pumpkin. They don't match, right? So kind of find bling that goes with whatever purse strap you find. And the hardware on this one is gold, so I could have gone with gold as well, but I wanted these black pearls. So I'm going to use a nice glue. This is Barely Arts glue in here. I'll use Barely Arts to attach it. And then when it's done, I'm going to take diamond glaze and go over the whole thing. It's kind of like a Mod Podge just to seal it. Once you get your everything glued down, if you come in with diamond glaze around the edges, that'll just hold it all like glue and it'll dry clear. Diamond glaze doesn't yellow, so that's nice. I like that. You can also use glossy accents, or if you have Mod Podge in your stash, use that too. And then I would add my purse straps. I did have to drill out these holes just a little bit, and I used a regular drill. It was super fast and easy. Because my straps These guys are a little big, so it'll depend on what you pick, but I just needed that hole big enough to accommodate the straps here without getting hung up. So now I can hang my purse from this, but the last thing I'll do after I get all of this done and dried and clear, or dried and set, is I'm going to make a lining, because it still looks like a plastic pumpkin. It still makes pumpkin noises. If I put something in here, it still sounds like I'm putting it into a plastic pumpkin. So I've got some ivory satin, and then I've got some cord. And I will post pictures when I'm all done, but I'm just going to make a little liner, and I will probably make it a drawstring, because that way I can pull it shut so nothing falls out. I may get lazy and just glue it around the edges, but having that extra little bit of fabric will dull any thuds. So it'll just kind of elevate it a little bit too. And then we'll have a really cute little pumpkin purse just in time for Halloween. And this strap was cheap. The pumpkin's super cheap if you go to Walmart, but I think I'm under $20. The rest I had here. So I'm under $20 even on Amazon. So this is going to be a fun little Halloween decoration / purse for me, and something fun even if I don't dress up fully. So that's what I've been up to. I'd love to know what everybody else is playing with.
I love that. That is so cool.
It's fun, right?
So
I love to come play with you guys because I don't have to just do cards. Over on Pear Blossom, I try to keep it, paper crafts. This is totally not your normal Pear Blossom stuff.
That's what's so cool about it. I'd love to see, we can, some people will only know you for your paper crafting, and the fact that you're able to do other general crafts is really cool to share that side of your creativity.
Yes. I'll come back in November and I will show you my pumpkin pie shoes that I'm also going to make, because I saw them for $300 and I couldn't justify it, but I am a DIYer and I actually wanted to make them a little cuter. So, so I got all this stuff for that too.
We cannot wait to see those.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
I love it. Thank you.
Thank you. And I'll go and check out what everybody else is crafting tonight too.
Cool.
And I'll
Thanks.
post finished pictures when I'm done. Maybe I'll even do like a little model.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys. Have a great night.
Bye.
Bye.
That's so
So
cool.
cute.
I love it.
Also, a reminder to those who join in every week, or if you're brand new this week, we do invite you on to come on and show us what you are creating. So we will drop the link into the chat here so that you can come into the green room and share with us what you are creating tonight.
Yeah, I'm putting it in right now.
Okay, cool.
Okay. There you go, everybody. So if you want to share something, hey, Hermie. Lenine said she's going to use some of Eileen's dyes in her December class. So that's cool. Love that. Love that everybody shares everybody's stuff.
Did you have another project that we were going to share before Deb? I see Lenine's coming in.
Lenine is here. Lisa was
Okay.
going to come in. So
Lisa. Okay. Well,
Yep.
I'll keep an eye open for her.
Hey, Lenine.
Did I
Hi.
lose you? Did I lose you?
No, you're on screen.
Okay. Because I don't see me on my screen right now. So, oh.
Refresh.
Okay. There I am. No.
Okay.
I see me in YouTube. I don't see, am I doing double?
No, I think you're
Can
fine.
you hear me?
Yep.
Okay. I turned off the sound on YouTube and I only see you on YouTube. Something's wrong with my end, I think. Anyway, I have my card. I do not see what's going on.
Well, we can see you in your full screen.
Okay, so here is what I'm doing in my October card class, and they're all fall. And I have this little raccoon, this one, this one. Are they upside up? Yeah.
Nope, they're good.
Oh, this one's upside down, I think.
Oh.
There it is.
I couldn't tell. It looked good either way. Oh, I see the boots now.
Yeah. And then this one. And then this one. And there's one more card that's still at the store and a tag. I do 6 cards and a tag in every class. And so this is our upcoming class.
That
And so
is
I had to share. And it's sold out, so don't ask me if you can get in the class or anything if you're in my area.
I bet your classes sell out every time.
They do. There aren't very many classes offered anywhere, and so they do sell out quite easily. Yes.
That's nice.
So cool. Thank you for sharing tonight.
You're welcome. You have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
You too.
Bye.
Well, maybe Lisa will come in after because I don't see her in
Okay.
here yet.
All right. Well, I see that Deb is on standby, so we're going to invite her in here. And
Hey, Deb.
Hi, lady.
So
How's
in
everyone
case
tonight?
anybody wants to know why Deb looks so refreshed, she has just come back from vacation. You're glowing.
It does wonders for people. I mean, even just, a couple of days not doing what you normally do and relaxing a little bit, it does wonders for you.
That's true.
Yeah, that's so wonderful to hear. And we're glad that you had a fabulous vacation, and we're glad that you're back.
Thanks. Yeah, thank you for having me back.
Of course.
We're going to turn everything over to you, and you have fun showing us what your project is tonight.
Okay, great. All right. Hello, everyone. I'm Deb Floros. I am a jewelry designer, a jewelry making educator, and a jewelry fanatic, and I am a cool crafter. So I've been primarily showing off projects that are all about repurposing, recycling, upcycling, whatever the term you would like to use, but essentially taking pieces and parts from jewelry that's been cast aside and reloving it, bringing it, breathing new life into it. And tonight is a little bit different, same and different. I'll explain in just a minute. We're going to talk about embellishing beads. So jewelry makers will get this. If you like to make jewelry, you're always thinking about how can I make that my own, or how can I make that into a bead, or how can I make that bead do something different? And so something I enjoy doing is just sitting down and taking a piece, a bead, a piece of something and embellishing it, and later turning it into a piece of jewelry. I often do not do these things all at once. I don't often take the pieces I've embellished and put them together. Sometimes just the act of sitting down and painting a bead or doing something else to a bead is enough for me to get my creative juices flowing. Those beads might get set aside and later become a piece of jewelry, or maybe sometimes they just kind of get stashed away and really never get made, but it was a fun experience at the time. So I'm going to flip my camera down. I'm going to actually shut this off for just a second. You should still be able to hear me. And I'm going to show you what I have on my table here. Give me 1 second. And there we go. So these are some examples. Now, one example is what I showed you the last time I was here. So I made this piece with some slider pieces. So these components here and this component here. And I embellished this component. It is a bead. It's a 2-hole bead. And I put some flat back rhinestones on it. And I wanted it to kind of match up to these other pieces that already had rhinestones in them. So I had a specific purpose for this. So I did make this bead to match to the others. And as soon as that glue was dry, we were ready to go for this piece. Another thing I made also with sliders, I'm a bit crazy about sliders, is this piece. And these are all wood pieces. So these are sliders, and they were kind of a raw wood. And then these little cubed beads are also kind of a raw wood. And so I used some acrylic paint, and I just kind of gave them some interesting dots and stripes, and just had fun sitting down painting these beads. And I created a little macrame slide clasp for this. And this was actually for a challenge, which was to do some repurposing and some upcycling. So that's another thing that you can do. Here's another example. So these beads, this really wasn't much of an upcycle because these beads were new. But just to give you another example of embellishing a bead. So these beads are a glass tri-cut. And I looked desperately to find the rest of them because I have some to show you what they looked like before they were embellished, but I could not find them. But they're essentially a table cut bead. So they have 3 slices on them. So they have like a flat spot on 3 sides. So it was perfect to embellish with rhinestones. So I used some glue and attached some beautiful flat back rhinestones. And then to finish the project, and this was one I actually did, I did the embellishing and then the finishing, the creating of the piece very soon after. I just did some wire wrapped beads and created this long, fun, dangly earring. So there are so many ways that you can embellish beads. And in the vein of repurposing and recycling, I picked up this necklace. I took a picture of it because it's already cut up. And this is a gorgeous necklace full of natural like wood and bone, all kinds of really cool rustic beads. This is a cool necklace. I found this in a lot of necklaces that I bought on Whatnot. And I love this necklace. I was going to actually keep it. And when I tried it on, it was just a little bit like weird. Like it didn't hang right for me. Just my body type, it just didn't lay right. So I loved the beads and I cut up the piece. And just to give you some examples of these beautiful beads, many of them are textured, many of them are colored already, but there were a few beads in there that I had my eye on that I thought could use some embellishing. So pretty necklace, but we cut it up and we're going to do lots of fun things with all the different beads. So that little package is going to get set to the side. But one thing I wanted to do was paint some of them. Now let me show you these. So these are a real heavy wood bead, and they look a little worn out. They're not pristine. So they've been around a while, maybe had some water damage or just maybe, body oils over time, but they're pretty cool as is. I don't mind this kind of a look, but this is a great kind of bead to do something different with. So lots of things you can do. And this first thing you can do is actually paint. So I grabbed just some really easy, basic acrylic paint, some craft paint, and I use a dotting tool. So I have a whole set of these little dotting tools. They have these round tips, and each one has 2 different sizes. They come in a set. I believe this was an Amazon purchase. And I just, let me show you just quickly. I mean, this is so easy peasy. All of you crafting folks probably could do this in your sleep. But all I do is just take that little dotting tool, and let me let the camera adjust if it will. There we go. And I just kind of come in with the dotting tool and give it some dots. And then I let this guy dry, and you could add more to it. So you could grab another color and start adding maybe some swirls in there, or some stripes or dots of different colors. I'm a big dots fan. I mean, this whole thing was dots. So I am a dot fan. So what I would do next with this once it's done is I would grab some of Aleene's sealer. So this is the super gloss, but you could use the super gloss or the matte, and just spray this, and it's going to hold all of that, you know, colorful paint and keep this bead in a good condition that when it does find a home on a piece of jewelry, it will, you know, keep those beautiful dots or stripes or whatever designs that you want to put onto your bead intact. So this is just fun. I mean, just taking a bead and, oh, look, I smashed that one. Lovely. So it's just fun to do. Just get a bead, find some beads that will actually take paint. A glass bead is a little more challenging to paint. But you know, a wood bead, a natural bead, a bone bead, those kinds of beads are usually really easy to paint. Wood beads are my favorite. So that's one way you can play with these beads. Now, another thing I did was I got these in a D-stash of craft supplies. Now, to be perfectly honest, I wasn't exactly sure what they were. They are a kind of crayon, but they come across like chalk. So I think they're probably chalk. And I got 2 sets of them. This one is a different colorway than the other. And I just started kind of texturing these. So this one, more dots. And it just kind of makes these look a little bit more interesting. So if you like a tribal design, or you know, something that's a little more rustic, you can add different textures to it. I took a yellow and kind of put the yellow around the center. I think this is chalk because it so easily came off as I was working with it, but I took these guys outside and I sprayed them down, and now all of that color and, you know, the little designs are, you know, they're there forever now. This one was kind of fun. This one has, you know what? I just realized this light is not on. Oh, that's going to help tremendously. Okay, so this one I actually used like 3 different colors, and I took one and just kind of created these really cool, just like, you know, just swiped the little stick across the bead, and so it just makes this look different. So I mean, not terribly different than the original, but enough so that you get something interesting. So you could do all different kinds of designs, or you could do all the same kind of design and colors, and then spray this down, and you've got a fun bead to, you know, to put on a piece of jewelry. So I've just got a couple more, and I'll show you quickly what this kind of looked like for me as I was working through it. So I took one of these guys, and I just kind of, let me let the camera adjust. There we go. Just kind of came in and rubbed that on. And because this is wood and has some texture, it's picking that up. So it's picking that color up, but it's going to come off on my fingers as I go around. So trying to hold that on the edges of the bead, on the whole side of the bead, and just kind of giving it some something. And that's the beauty here. You can make this look any way that you want with paint and chalk and all kinds of things that will, I've never tried alcohol ink on these. That might be interesting. So just giving it a little bit of a fun design and color. And that's really fun and interesting. Now I would take this on and put it on a dowel or on a, this is actually a bead reamer or an awl, and you can use that to help you as you work through it. And you could also use this when you're spraying your acrylic sealer on. So that's super fun. That's a fun way to embellish. You could use a combination of the paint and these. There's all different kinds of things you can do. And then when I took this necklace apart, let me move this out of the way without spilling the beads and the paint. Spill the beads. Another thing you can do, and I found on this necklace, these beads. So when I showed you those earrings, these guys, and I told you they were a tri-cut bead. This is glass, but this is a wood tri-cut bead, and it has these 3 flat surfaces. And so I thought these are fun. I've already done the glass beads. I can embellish these and I can make something really interesting here. So we've got these really rustic beads, but what if we took those rustic beads and we put rhinestones on them? So I'm big on, let's make something interesting. Let's make something different. They almost look like eyes because in this case I used smaller rhinestones, so the rhinestone doesn't cover the flat side of the bead. So that's one way you can do this. And in that case, I used some prestige crystal flatbacks. I am on the design team at artbeads.com, and Artbeads has and carries these mixes of different colors. And this one is called Fall Foliage. So this one has some beautiful fall colors. So I liked that for those beads. And then I thought, what if I take some larger flatbacks? And I'm not sure where these came from, but these are really kind of a beautiful blue color. And I thought just really quick, this is super easy. You probably can figure out how to do this, but just to show you how easy it really is, I'm going to take some, this is my go-to glue for this kind of a project. Using crystals, you always want to be pretty careful of using glue because you don't want to use any kind of a super glue or anything that will kind of frost the crystals that you'll be working with. And I'm just going to use a little bit of the E6000, kind of get it a little tacky on there. And then I'm going to take that and place it. Now this is still smaller than the flat part of the bead, but not as small as the others we did. Now you could also use rhinestone adhesive. Aleene's makes this as well. For a bead like this, I really want E6000. I don't know. It feels like it's for a material like this. It might hold a little bit differently. The rhinestone adhesive I like for glass, and I like for a larger piece. But for something small like this, I usually go with an E6000. So I'm just dropping that guy on, and then I give it a few seconds, and I'm got my glue off to the side over here. Just going to drop a little bit more on. So I'm just picking up a little bit of glue onto my toothpick. And you can use a rhinestone applicator if you have one. But because these are fairly big rhinestones, now this side of the bead, the rhinestone is filling up that spot. So really cool, really fun. And who doesn't love working with rhinestones? I mean, we all love rhinestones and sparkle in some way. So this is just a fun project. Do a little bit of rhinestone bling on your beads, and you've got something really fun to put onto a piece of jewelry. Now, I would just let this sit for a while. I'm the kind of person, I trust glue, but I like to let it sit for overnight or a few hours at least, and then start incorporating it into a project. But look at it from above. That's interesting. And then seeing how they look all the way around is just really fun. If you've got different colors, you can do them all in different colors. If you've got one that's like an AB finish, you can do them all the same. But I like to look for beads that have a flat surface like this. And that's just an easy way to apply rhinestones, or something, you know, a flat cabochon. Maybe you've got some glass cabochons or something like that. So we're not gonna put any of these on a piece of jewelry tonight, but I just thought, you know, for folks that maybe are thinking about, you know, starting to make jewelry, this is a very crafty kind of thing to do, and very fun to later then take this and you know, put it onto a bracelet, put it onto a necklace. This happens to be a fairly large hole bead, so you could maybe even put this on a ball chain or something like that, and it could be just a fun little like a pendant bead on a piece of chain. So lots of fun things you can do to embellish beads. I'm gonna flip my camera back up, ladies. Just gonna put that back down and flip my camera. Give me 1 second. All right. So embellish your beads, right?
Anne, you need to put your mic on.
I did mark a couple comments I wanted to say, because Lisa said, I have a tool like that. Didn't realize it was called a dotting tool. And Lisa Alexander, you would know it as an embossing stylist, because that's what we call it in the paper crafting world.
Okay.
You can use it to make perfect dots like you did, but that's what we would call it.
Okay. Yeah. Now I have a new vocabulary to work with.
And then Krishna said about those
the chalk.
I think you said they were like chalk. She asked if they were Conte. I can't say it. Conte crayons.
I think it's Conte crayons.
Crayons?
Oh.
Yeah.
Because that's what they look like to her.
It's so sad because this package is literally not marked in any way. And when I got this, I'm like, oh, this is kind of fun. It was just a box of craft supplies. I'm like, these look fun. I don't know what they are, but they're fun. So,
they do look fun. Yeah.
They might be. I'll have to look it up to see if I get a picture of that.
And I did look them up just to see what they were. I didn't go any farther to see if I could find that box. But Conte crayons were invented in 1795.
Wow.
By Nicolas Jacques Conte. So they're a combination of clay and graphite.
Oh,
so pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool.
And then
I'll get back to you all on those crayons.
Well, what's so cool is about everything that you showed tonight is it gets everyone looking at their craft supplies a little bit differently and creatively. And I loved the last bead that you did. Well, I actually like the Conte also because they're very subtle, and you talked about the tribal look. I love that look. But yes, but also the little rhinestones you put on the bead at the end. The color is beautiful, and I just love that style.
And I'm sure the crafters have some rhinestones stashed. I'm sure
Mhm.
you all have rhinestones.
Yeah. So cool. Thank you so much for inspiring us, and anything that you create with those, be sure and share them in our Facebook group so everyone can see how you're
will.
using them.
I will. I'll actually share some pictures of these so maybe you can get a better view of them and the finished things I shared too, just maybe to give you a little thinking about those things that you might see, those things that you might find at a garage sale or an estate sale or something. You can scoop them up and take them home and play with them.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, stay with us because I do see Lisa's in the green room. I don't know what she's making tonight. I always like to give her plenty of notice because the one week where I put her on too early and the hot glue gun wasn't ready. So so Lisa, wave at us if you're ready to come on.
She's sharing a project is what she's doing.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Really?
Hi. Oh my gosh. I forgot. I didn't even brush my hair. Oh,
Pajamas.
okay,
good.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, because that was rather embarrassing.
No,
You look
it's a come as you are party.
And I definitely came as I am, I'll tell you. No, I'm not. Well, actually, I was working on something, but I'm working on my project for next week because I need to get it photographed so I can get it sent to you, Tiff. So
Good. Okay.
yeah. So that's what I was working on. But this morning, Ann and I did a Facebook Live, and I shared a shaker card that I had created. And I didn't set up my other camera, so it's just me.
You
But
look good.
this is what I made. This is with Eileen Hall's new release, and it has this window frame die from Sizzix, and then all of these little the trees over here and some of the foliage that's up on top over here. This is all part of Eileen's new release. And she sent me this stuff and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to make a shaker card for this. So that's what I did this morning on my live. So let me show you real quick which die sets I'm talking about since I have them right here. But this is the one die set. And this one is the one that has 24 different dies in it. So for my live this morning, I used the trees that are in here and then also the foliage down at the bottom. And then for the window frame, I used this die set. And these are both brand new. She just released them. And this set actually has 13 different dies in it. And I only, for my project today, I only used the window itself. But I was telling our viewers this morning, I'm going to do this again, but in Christmas colors. I have a Christmas theme in my head that I think would be so beautiful with this set. So that's what I did. I just did my little shaker here, and it's a full shaker, a full front shaker. So it just makes it so much easier to make than what we used to have to do in the old days. Yeah. You know, when we had to use foam core board and we had to use thick foam tape, this thick. Yeah. No. These are just, it's a full cover on your card. So absolutely fun. So that's what I did. And that's what I'm sharing.
Love it. Love it.
Thank you very much.
I want to know how I get on your recipient list for these cards. I have a birthday coming up next month.
We need to start giving those away.
I know.
I could do that. All you have to do is ask, Tiff. Just ask.
I'm just so inspired because like you, what I love is how you mentioned that it's so much easier to make these crafts these days.
Yes.
dedication that everyone has had in the past years to get to the point where we are now, where you can put these together, and
Yes.
multiples of them, since
Yes.
they're the die cuts. And Eileen, I know she's in the chat. Bless you for designing these because they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, you know, I just remember, you know, I do a lot of interactive cards. When I'm doing a card project, I prefer to do home decor or something like that. But if I'm doing a card project, I like the interactives. I want something that's going to move, shake, you know, talk to me, you know, whatever's going on. And just the way we used to have to do these. And now these companies that come out with the dies that you need to create one of these cards, where before you just had a pattern and you had to kind of cut it out and go from there. Or in my case, a lot of times I had to make it up as I went. So yeah, now the fact that they're onto that now, it makes it so much easier. So much easier and more fun.
Yeah, and then you incorporate everything like what Amanda's doing with her slides and her lights and all of that. It's like these are works of art.
Yes, I'm very into details. I love little tiny details. So I don't do a whole lot of quick crafting. My craft projects usually take me days. So when I get a chance to do something quick and fun, you know, that makes it nice too. It kind of breaks up the monotony of just, you know, doing the same thing again and again. So
Yeah. So
but
cool.
yeah,
Thanks
lots of
for
fun.
sharing that.
Of course.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I
Well,
love that.
I asked you this morning, do you need anything for night? Yeah, can you come on? Okay.
You're always welcome any week that you're not even signed up as any sort of guest. If you have something you want to share, we will always make time.
Oh, thank you. Well, next week, this is going to be fun. What I'm doing for next week, it's going to be very pretty.
Yes.
Okay.
It's
Very,
gonna be
very pretty and
sparkly.
shiny and sparkly. Yes. So I'm excited. I got to finish it first, but you'll see it tomorrow, Tiff, when I send you the picture.
Okay,
You'll see it.
perfect. Sounds wonderful.
All right.
Thank you, Lisa.
You're welcome.
I did start a couple comments I wanted to say. Laura Lee said, I love how you bring on so many different artists. Just wanted to thank you for this. I love watching the replays, even if I can't be here live. That's so sweet.
Yeah,
And
we really
she said,
appreciate that.
and we do. And she said, oh, Anne, I was thinking about your pattern paper idea this morning. I might try laminating and then cutting bobbin shapes on my Cricut. That's a good idea. I shared,
Okay.
I'm organizing a little bit. So I am getting rid of some of my paper stash, and I made bobbin shaped holders to put all my lace trim on. So yeah, that's a good idea, Laura Lee. And Teresia said that she's going to use Eileen's die set to make a Halloween card. That'll be fun. You'll have to share that in the group, Teresia. Not sure if I said her name right.
I think it's Teresita.
Teresita. See,
Teresita.
I'm not
That's how
good
it's
with
spelled, but that's how it's spelled. But I don't know if that's the right pronunciation. But
yours sounds better.
Well, cool. How much time do we have left? We have about 6 minutes. I do have a project if you want to share it, and which is a wreath that I made, which is with AdTech hot glue, and I think it's about a 3-minute video. And you know, everybody can make so many different looks in wreaths, and I had never done anything for fall, so it was really fun just to go and gather all the little doodads to put together in a wreath. So I have a quick video for you, just some inspiration for a fall wreath.
Okay.
wreath project, I am using my AdTech Synergy Freedom Glue Gun, AdTech Artistic Glue Sticks, and finger guards. Lay all your pieces on your work surface so it's easy to glue them in place. You'll be able to complete your project much quicker. First step, grab your finger guards because when you apply the hot glue and the moss, you will want to protect your fingers. Separate your moss into smaller pieces. Apply hot glue in small sections and glue the moss around the front of the wreath. Continue until the entire front of the wreath is covered in moss. Use the same technique to glue pieces of moss to the sides of the wreath and the inside edge. Now it's time to decorate your wreath. Starting with your largest decorating pieces, just space them out and glue them in place. Remember to leave room for your bow at the bottom. Next, start adding your acorns by applying glue to the side and pressing the acorns in place on the moss. If needed, add more glue to hold in place. Continue by adding your table scatter and keep filling in the spaces with more acorns and scatter. When the wreath starts filling up, you might want to glue some of the decorations to each other to firmly hold them in place on the wreath. With your wire-edged ribbon, tie a looped bow. I made 2 loops on each side and secured it with wire. Cut off the excess wire and glue the bow in place at the bottom of the wreath. I love the colors of fall, and I hope you enjoy creating your own special fall decor. I'm Tiffany Windsor, and I think it's cool to craft.
I love that.
Love it.
Thank you. I laugh because, you know, when Lisa, was it just last week, she was doing some gluing with hot glue, and I had to use the finger guards. She was like putting her fingers right into the hot glue. It's like, how do you do that? And so, because I can't do that. It hurts when that hot glue hits your finger. So invest in some of those AdTech finger guards.
They're worth it. Yeah. I forget to use them, but yes, they're worth it. I'm so glad that you pointed that out in your video because it's like so smart.
I don't know. I was just amazed that Lisa was able to do that and so casually just keep gluing because I think I still have a little, you know, you say to yourself, it's like, be careful, this is hot, do this and that. And then I always end up with something stuck to me. So anyway, it was fun to, as I mentioned, to gather those supplies. All of those were from the Dollar Tree, and it was just, I loved the metal looks, whether it's copper or, you know, gold metallic and such, along with the green velvet. So that was my contribution to our fall decor.
I love it.
Nice. Very.
Thank you.
Hermie said, glue guns and I don't get along. Finger guards are a must.
Yeah. I didn't even know they existed until Anne sent them to me. I needed some supplies to restock and she sent them to me. It's like, oh my gosh, what are these? So
yeah. Well, I don't so much have a problem doing that. I reach across, I burn myself on the glue gun, you know. I mean, it's like, come on.
Yeah. So anyway,
I'm told in this household, I'm not supposed to use hot things, like, because I'm so clumsy. So maybe that's actually going to inspire me to use the hot glue gun again. Maybe I won't burn myself on a hot glue gun if I have the finger guard.
It was great. Highly recommend them. And I think a package may have 2 or 3 in them. So, you know, you can really cover a lot. And then I was trying to decide, did I want them on my left hand and then glue with the right, or keep them on the right and glue and press? But anyway, when you're working with the moss like that, it's a must, because it's, I don't know how anybody does it without it. So
No,
that's my creative suggestion for the night.
I like it.
So a reminder to everyone again that, and talk about how our viewers can sign up to get information for BellaCon.
Okay, so you can, I didn't put a link in here. So go to bellacraftspublishing.com. I'll see if I can grab it. And you can sign up for the magazine. When you sign up for the magazine, you'll be on our list. We only send crafty things. We don't bombard you at all. So when I have the information for the event, I will send it out to our entire list. So that's how you'll find out. And then just keep watching us. You'll hear more about it as we get closer and as I sign instructors up and all the fun stuff. It was fun seeing Julie and Eileen in here, and then Amanda coming in, and Lisa, of course, is never there in person, but she is my backup, and she is there for the entire thing. So that's always good too. BellaCon was fun. Thanks, Lisa.
And I'm putting in the link to the Cool2Craft private Facebook group. That's a Cool2Craft community. While we were live tonight, I had a couple of requests for new members. So thank you so much. We're so delighted to have you here. And you can come into this community and you can share the projects that you're working on. I always post there first, anything for Cool2Craft. So if you want to know what's coming down the pipeline, and please join us. It's a sweet group. Just love them all.
Yes. Well, and it's always nice that you can share your stuff that you're creating. We like that.
Yes, always. Well, here we are wrapping up another Wednesday night. We're so delighted that you were able to join us for the Cool2Craft pajama party. And Lisa got into her PJ party mood tonight with her hair that she thought was going to be a problem, but it wasn't. So thank you to everyone who's joining us. And Deb, thank you always for your projects, and send me any photos that you have of any of your finished beads, and I'll be sure and get them into the community posts.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, we'll
Always.
see you. I know you're on the calendar from between now and the end of the year, so we'll see you again soon.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.